Hey everyone, welcome to Sports Talk once again. I'm John Gerardi, sports editor at the Sun-Gazette, alongside, as usual, the Dr. Chris Masse, and we had a lot of softball and baseball playoffs for the state level to get into. I guess let's just start with Class A softball. Montgomery beat Old Forge 7-0. Faith Persing, I think, about as dominant of a pitching performance as you'd want from someone. 90 pitches, a shutout, only allowed one hit. I don't think you could have asked her to do any. I don't think Montgomery could have asked Faith to do anything more in the circle than she did.
No, and then she hit a leadoff home run for the second straight game, so that's pretty good. You don't expect to see that once, let alone twice. But yeah, and now she had a no-hitter. She was 2 outs away from it. I'll take blame for that because I jinxed it in the press box. And I'm always adamant about you don't talk about it. And Kurt Chilson, the Muncie AD, was sitting next to me, and I didn't say no hitter, so I thought I was safe. I just said she's working on something special right now, and Kurt right away said, "I can't believe you just said that." And I said, "I didn't say the word. It's okay." And I said, "Well, we'll find out here momentarily." And then 2 batters later, she gave up a hit, so that's my fault. But yeah, she was awesome again. 16 strikeouts. That was 2 days after striking out 17 against Northeast Bradford in the district final. So she's having one of the best pitching seasons in area history. It's been a lot of fun to watch. And but everybody else is pitching in too. They're getting a lot of offensive contributions right now. Their defense is playing well, and they're surging at the right time.
I was going to say, offensively, Faith went 3 for 3, double home run. Bryn McRae, 3 for 4 with a double. Taylor McRae.
Shelby McRae?
Oh, Shelby, my bad. I butcher names a lot.
Bryn's injured right now, so that would have been amazing if she did do that.
But Taylor, 2 for 3. Jenna Waring, 2 for 4. Kaylee Snyder, 2 for 4. They just had a lot of, it seemed like everywhere throughout the lineup, they were just being able to hit.
Yeah, that's it. One of their best hitting performances of the season, and against a good District 2 champion and a pitcher that had close to 200 strikeouts coming in. So it was impressive, and yeah, it was contagious. It kind of flowed through the lineup. They hit well against Northeast Bradford. They had 9 hits. The difference in that game was they didn't bunch a lot of them together. It kind of came here and there. This game, they were bunching them together, and that's a great encouraging sign for them. If that offense is peaking right now, and you have Faith Persing pitching the way she is, that's a tough combo to beat.
It'll be interesting how they do in the semifinals here coming up.
Quarterfinals?
My bad, guys. My bad.
He's not the best in the business for nothing.
With that, let's switch to Class AAA. You were there at Central Columbia for that doubleheader. Loyal Sock in that one. They lose 12-0. But you said you were impressed by the team that they lost to, just by how much, I guess, they kind of dominated a really, really great Loyal Sock team from top to bottom.
Yeah, this wasn't about Loyal Sock losing or Loyal Sock not being as good as advertised. Loyal Sock's a great team, and they were a serious state title contender. They just ran into a team that I think will win the state title if they play the way they did Monday night. Miranda Runco, I kept saying Runcho. Miranda Runco is having one of the best softball seasons I've ever heard of, and she was as good as advertised. She hit 2 home runs. She's up to 19 now for the season, and that's with 19 intentional walks. She's averaging a home run every 3.6 at bats,
That's crazy.
It's insane. And she's only a sophomore, and like I said, she's getting the Barry Bonds treatment where she's either being walked, and if you don't walk her, she's hitting a home run. But she's not a cheater like Barry Bonds, so exactly. She's got that going for her. She's a legitimate star, and Loyal Sock. They hit 5 home runs. It was the whole team. The whole Mid-Valley team was loaded, but she led off the game with a home run. When she came up the next time, the bases were loaded, and me and people in the press box were like, I don't care. You walk in a run right now. Yeah. It's 2-0, because if she hits a grand slam, it's 5-0, and that's what they did. And the other girls were great for Mid-Valley too. But long story short, that's a loaded team. Runco is a great pitcher too. The defense was phenomenal. So again, Loyal Sock had a great season. They ran through the ringer in a tough league, a tough district to win that district title. They just ran into a juggernaut.
Going to baseball here in Class A, Tri-Valley beat St. John Newman 3-2. Really tough loss for Newman, losing the bottom of the 7th when Chase Serve scored on a pass ball with 2 outs. Yeah. But the season that Newman had this year, to win the district championship first in program history and to do what they did, you can't really. I mean, it's tough to lose in states, but looking back, I mean, they just had one hell of a great season.
Yeah, I mean, it's anytime you lose, your season ends. It's disappointing, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure once the pain of losing, once it settled in a little bit and they had time to reflect, they probably looked back and went, "Wow." You know, they made history. Mm-hmm. They won their first league title. They went undefeated in league play. They won their first district championship. Second straight season that they set a program record for wins. They go 18-4. And I think they kind of, even though they lost, I think they validated themselves at the state level too to take Tri-Valley to the limit. Tri-Valley is a perennial District 11 power. They win districts just about every year. So they overcame a 2-0 deficit to get it to 2-2. So, yeah, like you said, it was an awesome season for them, and the culture has changed so much. And now I think even though they're going to lose some great players from this team, I think they've got that belief now that they can win, that they can do great things, and the bar has been raised. And Corey Burkholder at coaching staff, the players, they've really turned things around, and I think more good days are ahead.
You know, and then in Class AAA in baseball, you know, I mean, two local teams with two heartbreaking losses. Lake Lehman with a 13-12 win over Loyalsock, and I mean, Nick Spencer, you know, scored when a pitch got away from Chase Kavanaugh there in the bottom of the 7th. And, you know, Mitch Rupert covered that, and he kind of said on Twitter it was kind of hard to summarize what kind of happened in one story. But, I mean, that's a brutally tough way to lose a state game.
It is. It's gut-wrenching. It's heartbreaking. And, you know, they were up 12-8 in that inning, but they were also down 7-3 at one point against Lake Lehman. And I thought Mitch wrote a good story. And I think he pointed out that Lake Lehman's probably the more talented team, but Sock, and this is something I wrote about leading up to the game, their defining characteristic was how tough they were. They didn't care who they were playing. Central Columbia was a more talented team in the district final, and they beat them. They were relentless. They found ways to win. Nothing fazed them. Nothing scared them. Faced a pitcher that's going to Virginia Tech. Faced another one going to LSU, and they scored 12 runs. It's a tough way to lose, but man, they had a phenomenal season, and you know, to win their 8th district title since 2008. They got a lot to be proud of, and again, just like Newman, as gut-wrenching it is to lose, they've got to feel nothing but pride about what they achieved this year.
Exactly, and I mean, Loyalsock had a lot of success there too, offensively. Chase Kavanaugh 2 for 5, Joe Schur 2 for 5, Nick Barone had a double, Matt Worth went 2 for 4. I mean, I think we've seen all year that Loyalsock has the ability to hit throughout that lineup too, no matter really who they're facing, what pitcher they're going against.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to them, again, not having a fear of anybody, and it's kind of built into that program, I think. They don't care what the opponent has, they just care what they have, what they do, what they control. It's kind of the way the basketball team was. They don't care if the other team has Division I recruits and, you know, all these guys going to different places. They believe they're going to win, and they almost pulled it off against a really, really good team that I think has serious state title potential. And I think that bar keeps getting raised for Loyalsock, and as great as that program's been, they just keep, even if they don't win a state title or a district title every year, that defining toughness, scrappiness, no fear attitude just permeates through the program, and that's why I think they're able to do the things that they do every year, and it'll be tough again next year.
Exactly. And then last local team here, Class 5A baseball, Central Mountain with a 12-0 win over Peters Township in 5 innings. And Masse, this would kind of be your type of game, because in the one inning they had Central Mountain cranked out 4 home runs.
Yeah, that's to see one of our area teams do that would have been like a dream come true for me. I would have had tears of joy in my eye watching that kind of offensive display.
You know, you had Caden Falls had a home run with 5 RBIs. Cy Probst 2 for 3, 2 homers, 2 RBIs. Blade Myers 2 for 2. Gabe Johnson 2 for 3. It just seemed like this was a game where the Wildcats were kind of clicking offensively and couldn't really do any wrong.
Yeah, I mean, 4 home runs in 1 inning. Probst hit 2 in 1 inning. I mean, you just don't see that. And yeah, this is a team. A lot of times it's not if you're the best team. I think at this time of year, it's the hottest team that wins a lot.
Yep.
And they've won 3 playoff games now: 9-0, 10-0, 12-0. So this is a team that's putting it all together at the right time, and like you said, they're getting production throughout the lineup. That's something they've done all year. And then they've got Aiden Majors, just been fantastic all season going to West Virginia, and he's been dealing. That was another bonus of this win, not just that they won, but that they kept his pitch count low and kept him eligible for West Allegheny, or I think it's North Allegheny. It's one of the Alleghenies
and Allegheny.
Yeah, in the state quarterfinals. So they're set up the way they want to be. They're playing well, and of course it's going to be a tough game, but they're surging at the right time, just like Montgomery is.
I was going to say, obviously, you noted that Major, he's still eligible, but I think the fact that they've won 3 straight playoff games here via shutout, I think that just gives them a ton of confidence moving forward.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it. I think I don't think they're getting cocky, but I think there's a lot of belief when they put that stuff up. I think they have we don't fear anybody. They respect everybody, but they don't fear anyone at this point because they know what they're capable of when they put it all together. So I think mentally they're in a great place now going into the quarterfinals.
Well, we're filming this right now. It's Wednesday. This obviously comes out Friday, and tomorrow, Thursday, pending weather, obviously, is when they play. So we don't really want to get into the quarterfinal matches too much, but let's just do kind of a quick hitter here, for Montgomery and Central Mountain. What do you kind of see in both those quarterfinal games?
Central Mountain, I haven't seen a lot on their opponent yet, but I was surprised the Allegheny, whichever one it is. I got to do my homework a little bit better here. I think it's West Allegheny, but they beat Franklin, who was ranked number 1 in the state. Franklin was the Whippeal champion. Allegheny was 4th. So they're dangerous. I have to see if they use their number 1 pitcher and all that stuff there. But obviously, to beat Franklin, they're pretty good, so that's going to be a tough game. Montgomery's got a really challenging game against Tri-Valley. They're pretty loaded. Kind of mirror Montgomery in terms of their youth. They only have 1 senior. And that's the way Montgomery is with Morgan Tupper being their only senior starter. And they hit well throughout the lineup. They have 2 good pitchers. So they're 22-2. They've had some common opponents. You get to this point of the year, it's always going to be a tough game. And this is going to be a really tough one. But Montgomery's playing great. Central Mountain's playing great. So I expect two really good battles tomorrow.
Well, that'll do it for the playoffs. One last thing to get in here. Over the weekend, 5 bowlers were inducted into the Lycoming County USBC Association Hall of Fame. Dennis Welshins, Tammy Eisworth, Stanley Joey Shia Jr., Sarah Whitmore, and John Silverstrom. So quick congratulations to them. John actually is the one who does the Kegler's Corner for us every week. So I always enjoy reading those bowling Kegler's Corners.
One of these days, I don't. Wii bowling, I'm pretty good at. So one of these days, I can get into the Wii Bowling Hall of Fame.
Someday.
I don't know about the real bowling Hall of Fame. I struggle to crack 100.
Unfortunately, I'm in the same. So that'll do it for Sports Talk this week. We'll see you guys later.